Hello, Q family. Like and subscribe to the channel to know everything about BARÇA. In this video, we will talk about what Mbappe said about BARÇA after another defeat of Madrid against the Blaugrana team. But before that, we have other topics that are also very important for our beloved club. Let's move on to the first one. BARÇA continues to design with ambition and vision its roadmap to return to the top of European football. On this path, every sporting decision counts. Every move in the market has a purpose, and every name put on the table represents a potential piece of a puzzle that, step by step, is beginning to take the shape of excellence. In this context, one of the names that has gained the most strength in the camp offices is that of Spanish international Pedro Porro, current Tottenham player and one of the most complete fullbacks in the European panorama. With the summer market approaching, BARÇA is diligently working to strengthen the most sensitive positions in the team. The technical staff, led by ANS Flick, is clear that fullbacks are key pieces in his game plan, as he has already demonstrated during his time as German national team coach and at Bayern. He likes his teams to dominate from the wings, for his fullbacks to participate in the circulation, create superiorities, gain meters, cross with criteria, and also know how to close spaces with contundence. In this profile, Pedro Porro is an ideal option, a versatile, young solution with potential and at the same time consolidated in the elite. It is no coincidence that the name of Porro has generated consensus within the club's sports structure. The player, who has established himself in Tottenham's starting 11, comes from an exceptional season in the Premier League where he has left statistics that speak for themselves. 4 goals and 9 assists, spectacular figures for a fullback. His offensive contribution, his inexhaustible energy, and his ability to unbalance in the final third of the field make him a profile that perfectly matches the associative, dynamic, and vertical football that ANS Flick wants to install at camp. Additionally, his ability to play on both sides offers very valuable tactical richness. Although his natural position is right back, where he has shown the most, Pedro Porro has also demonstrated that he can perform on the left in case of emergency, something that Flick greatly appreciates given the need for a versatile and competitive team in a demanding calendar. Having players capable of covering more than one position is not a luxury, but a necessity. That is why his recruitment is not only seen as an opportunity, but as a strategic investment for the present and the future. Tottenham, aware of the value he has in their ranks, has already set a firm position. They will not listen to offers below 60 million euros, a significant figure, but not out of the question if compared to the current market inflation and the players' performances. From BARÇA's perspective, this price may seem high in the club's current economic context, but it is not inaccessible. BARÇA has already demonstrated on several occasions that it can maneuver intelligently to activate operations of this magnitude without compromising its financial balance. The sports management, in coordination with the presidency, is evaluating different scenarios, from strategic sales to installment payment formulas or loans with mandatory purchase options. Porro, moreover, views positively the possibility of returning to Spain. Trained at Girona and seasoned in leagues like the Portuguese and English, the fullback knows well the demand that comes with playing for a big team, and although his present in England is solid, the allure of wearing the BARÇA jersey and playing at Camp Nou is a dream that seduces any player. The player's entourage has welcomed with enthusiasm the interest of the Catalan club, which facilitates a path for possible negotiations. Of course, BARÇA is not alone in the race. Clubs like Manchester City and Bayern Munich are also closely following the player's evolution. The former knows him well, as he had him in their ranks in the past, although they never offered him continuity. The latter, with a clear need for fullbacks, has the economic resources to compete. But here comes into play a differential factor: the identity, style, and prestige of BARÇA. Not all clubs can offer what BARÇA represents, a place where history, play, and passion come together to form a unique experience. For Pedro Porro, signing for BARÇA would not only be another step in his career, but a definitive leap towards consecration. And this is where the Q fan comes into play, because this possible incorporation is not just another one. It is a player who can redefine the role of the fullback in Flick's scheme, who can give the team the amplitude, aggressiveness, and depth it needs to be more unpredictable and more dangerous. That is why we ask, what does the Blaugrana fan base think about the possibility of seeing Pedro Porro defending our colors? Do you agree that this is a recruitment that can make an immediate difference? Is it worth making the economic effort to finalize his arrival this summer? The management, which is already working on several fronts to strengthen the team, knows that it must send clear signals to the Barcelonism, and one of them could be precisely this move, a recruitment that combines youth quality, international experience, and hunger for titles. A player who fits both Flick's idea and the philosophy of play that has characterized the club for decades. Furthermore, the arrival of Porro would not only have an impact on the field, but also in the locker room. His winning mentality, commitment, and professionalism are values that enrich any group. In a team that bets on a mix of youth and maturity, his profile brings balance and silent leadership. Barça needs full backs who not only fulfill their role, but make a difference. And Pedro Porro has demonstrated that he can do so in one of the most demanding leagues in the world. His ability to reach the goal line, combine in short, offer alternatives from the outside, and even finish when the game allows it, make him a valuable resource in the team's offensive construction. A player who does not need the spotlight to shine, as his football speaks for itself. There is no doubt. It is a recruitment worth making, a move that, if materialized, could consolidate as one of the smartest and most useful of the summer. Not every day sees the arrival on the market of a fullback like Pedro Porro, young, experienced, offensive, disciplined, and hungry for titles. And if Barça has the opportunity to dress him in Blaugrana, it should take advantage of it. And you, Q, would you like to see Pedro Porro at camp next season? Are you in favor of this recruitment? We want to read you. The second piece of news concerns a very important decision for our club. The transfer market always offers unexpected twists, but few are as surprising as the one involving the talented Portuguese midfielder Bruno Fernandes, current captain of Manchester United. In recent weeks, his name has been circulating strongly, not only due to the interest of clubs from exotic leagues like Saudi Arabia, but also because Barça has made a notable entry, determined to make the Portuguese international one of the major signings of the ANS Flick era. What seemed to be a quiet summer for the Lusitanian player has taken a radical turn. According to information from the British newspaper Mirror, Bruno Fernandes' entourage has already had meetings with emissaries from the Saudi club Al Hilal, which has demonstrated sufficient financial muscle to attempt to sign any European star. The offer proposed by the Riyadh club will be 30 to 35 million euros per season, a colossal sum that few can match. But while in Arabia, millions are being thrown around, in Barcelona, they are betting on history, identity, and a unique sporting proposition. At the camp, they have not remained idle, well aware of the impact that an operation of this magnitude could have. The club has activated its machinery to present Bruno Fernandes with a serious, ambitious project entirely centered around him. This is not just about a flashy signing, but a strategic move that could redefine Barca's midfield for years to come. Bruno Fernandes fits perfectly into the model that Flick wants to implement. He is a player with exquisite vision, capable of providing the final pass, leadership, and frequent appearances in the opponent's box. His stats at Manchester United are eloquent: assists, goals, defensive intensity, competitive character. A complete midfielder. Since his arrival, Flick has asked for profiles that not only understand positional play, but also have the personality to take on responsibilities in demanding scenarios. Bruno represents this and more. The German coach has already conveyed to the management his enthusiasm for the possibility of having the Portuguese player. He considers that he would be a key figure, both on and off the field. His ability to organize, associate, and appear at key moments will be crucial in tight matches, in high-demand European scenarios, and in moments when young players need a guide with temperament and experience. In short, a signing that would make the team grow, raise a competitive level, and strengthen leadership within the squad. But beyond the sporting aspect, the club particularly appreciates Bruno Fernandes' human and professional profile. He is a player without scandals, always exemplary as captain of Manchester United, who has earned the respect of his teammates and opponents. His winning mentality, work obsession, and competitive spirit align with the values that Barça wants to recover and instill daily. In the Blaugrana environment, there is optimism. They know that Al's competition is strong financially, but they also believe that Bruno still wants to compete at the highest level, that his sporting ambition is not yet satisfied, and that wearing the Barça jersey represents a challenge that could deeply appeal to him. After all, It's not every day that one has the opportunity to become the beacon of a team with such a footballing legacy, a philosophy so clear, and a style so defined as that of the Catalan club. In this sense, the initial informal contacts with the player's entourage have been positive. The idea has been conveyed from Camp Nou that Bruno will be the absolute reference in midfield, with the freedom to deploy his talent, surrounded by a technical context that would allow him to shine and with the possibility of marking an era. They are already working on possible formulas to present a convincing offer to Manchester United, an entity that would not view a good sale unfavorably if the footballer clearly expresses his desire to change scenery. The English club is going through a moment of doubt, both institutionally and sportingly, and the possible departure of its captain would not be so traumatic if they managed to obtain a significant sum to renew their project. In this context, Barça could take advantage of the situation to promote its sporting proposition above the Saudi money, as history, style, and the possibility of continuing to compete in the European elite are arguments that, for many footballers, weigh more than an overflowing bank account. And this is where the emotional component comes in. For Bruno Fernandes, joining Barça would mean taking on a different challenge, wearing a jersey that represents a unique identity, and entering a locker room where football is breathed from the academy to the first team. It would not simply be a signing, but a natural union between a player with a champion mentality and a club that seeks to dominate Europe again with talent and conviction. Among the Cule fans, the name of Bruno Fernandes has already begun to spark debate. Should Barça bet on him as the major signing of the summer? Is he the ideal profile to lead Flick's midfield? Social media is full of positive comments, recalling the Portuguese player's great matches in the Premier League and his decisive role in the English team. Many Cules particularly appreciate his consistency, defensive involvement, and ability to make a difference in the toughest moments. And it's no coincidence. Few midfielders in Europe combine technical quality with tactical aggression, positional intelligence with a winning character, collective commitment with individual brilliance as naturally as Bruno. He is an elite player who could give Barça that differential point that has sometimes been missing in recent years to return to the top. The operation, as is logical, will not be simple. They will have to negotiate with Manchester United, seduce the player, and find the economic balance to make his arrival viable. But at the club, there is determination. There is a consensus. If the opportunity arises, they must give it their all, because footballers like Bruno do not appear every day. From this perspective, what do you think, Cules? Do you believe that Bruno Fernandes would be the leader that the midfield needs? Do you think his arrival would bring that leap in quality that many are waiting for? Do you see it as possible that he would prefer Barca's project over Saudi money? We want to know what the fan base thinks, because the club has already spoken. Flick has already spoken. The name is on the table. The profile is clear, the objective as well. Now, all that's left is to wait for Bruno Fernandes' next step. And perhaps, just perhaps, his next destination will be camp, in a club that does not need astronomical figures to seduce, as its badge, history, and way of understanding football remain the best calling card. The future may be closer than we imagine. Barça is moving, Bruno is listening. The third piece of news concerns a major recruitment coup for Barça. At a time when every move in the transfer market can make the difference between success and uncertainty, Barça has begun to work firmly and discreetly to secure the services of one of the most sought-after midfielders of the moment, Youri Tielemans. The Belgian, who had a remarkable season with Aston Villa in England, has become a major target for several top-level clubs. However, it is the Blaugrana team that has captured the player's interest the most, as he sees the Catalan project as the perfect opportunity to establish himself as a figure in the European elite. And above all, Tielemans himself wants to play for Barça, despite the sirens coming from Saudi Arabia, where Al Hilal is put on the table a staggering offer of around 45 million euros. The Belgian footballer has not hesitated to express his desire to prioritize the Blaugrana club's sporting project over the economic aspect. Al Hilal, with the next Club World Cup in mind, is looking for big names to try to build a team capable of competing with the European giants, and among its main targets is Tielemans, whom they want to turn into the axis of their midfield. But despite the astronomical figures they handle in Arabia, the midfielder has already made it known to his closest entourage that his true ambition is to wear the colors of Barça. The Catalan club, with the full support of ANS Flick, has begun to move swiftly to turn this player's desire into a concrete reality. The German coach, who has taken on the challenge of leading the team into a new era of success, believes that Tielemans fits perfectly into the style he wants to implement: possession football with rhythm, tactical intelligence, and dynamism in the midfield. The Belgian's profile meets all these characteristics. He is a player with great distribution criteria, a powerful presence in the box, international experience, and, above all, a winning mentality that he has demonstrated both in his club and with his national team. During the last season with Aston Villa, Tielemans scored 15 goals from midfield, a figure that speaks to the impact he has on offensive play. But his influence goes far beyond statistics. In every match, he has shown remarkable physical deployment, silent leadership, and a vision of the game that has been fundamental for the English team to achieve a historic qualification for the Champions League. However, beyond the collective merit, the player has come to conviction that it is time to make the definitive leap in his career. And this is where BARÇA comes in with an ambitious and attractive sporting proposition. Unlike Al-Hil's offer, focus on the economic aspect, the Catalan club offers something that the Belgian values much more: the possibility of competing every week in a highly demanding environment against the best in the world, in mythical stadiums, and with the pressure and honor that comes with wearing a jersey loaded with history and glory. Camp Nou is not just a stage, it is a symbol. And for Tielemans, it is the place where he wants to write the next chapter of his career. From the Blaugrana club sports management, initial contact with the footballer's entourage have already been initiated, and the responses have been very positive. The first meetings have left good impressions, and although there are still details to be resolved, mainly economic ones with Aston Villa, it is certain that the player's willingness could be key to reducing the cost of an operation that, under other circumstances, would have been more complex. Tielemans not only wants to come, but is also willing to collaborate to make his recruitment a reality, even by accepting contractual conditions inferior to those offered by Arabia. This gesture by the footballer has been welcomed with enthusiasm by the club. It is not common these days to see players reject astronomical offers simply out of desire to compete at the highest level, and this is deeply appreciated at BARÇA. Beyond his talent, his mentality is exactly what a team in full reconstruction needs. ANS Flick knows that to build a new era of success, he needs committed, ambitious, and characterful footballers. And Tielemans represents all of this. At Aston Villa, they are already preparing for the player's possible departure. Although they consider him a key piece, they are also aware that retaining him against his will would be counterproductive. Moreover, they know that BARÇA represents a destination that is difficult to refuse. The English club would not view receiving a sum close to 25 or 30 million euros for a footballer who arrived free from Leicester unfavorably. This gain would allow them to reinvest in the team without too much affecting the sporting project. In parallel, from Saudi Arabia, they are not giving up. Al-Hilal insists with a proposal that includes not only a staggering contract, but also a position of absolute leadership within the team, a competitive team, and the possibility of competing in a high-visibility tournament like the Club World Cup. However, so far, all attempts have been met with courtesy but clarity by the player's entourage. Tielemans' desire is to play for BARÇA. The economic aspect, at this stage of his career, is not the priority. The sporting aspect is. Catalan media are already echoing the news, and the Belgian's name is beginning to circulate strongly in conversations among fans. On social media, many Qs are already enthusiastic about the idea of the arrival of a midfielder with the quality, experience, and character of Tielemans. There is a general consensus that his recruitment would represent a significant leap in quality in the midfield, providing the team with a piece that combines talent with determination, versatility with maturity, technique with tactical intelligence. And the fan base has reasons to be excited. BARÇA is not competing for this recruitment from a position of despair, but from a solid position, built around Flick's project and the appeal that the club still holds on the international stage. In this context, the possible arrival of Tielemans would be a clear message. The club remains a preferred destination for the world's great players. When someone like the Belgian in his prime, with staggering offers on the table, chooses a path of competitive football and opts to come to camp, It means that the Blaugrana identity remains intact and that the dream of returning to the top is getting closer. That is why we pose the question to the entire Kiel fan base. What do you think about the possible recruitment of Youri Tielemans? Does his arrival excite you? Do you think he can be the midfielder that ANS Flick needs to lead this new phase of the club? The debate is open. What is clear is that the player wants to come, the coach wants him in his team, and the club has already set in motion. Leave us your opinion in the comments.